It's evident that not everyone can get into PC gaming, especially in these terrible times of AI hardware crisis. If you can't get into PC gaming, that's fine, as long as you're not saying anything stupid. I'm really pissed at the PCMR propaganda from when I picked up gaming. Yeah, this kind of aggression is unnecessary, but that's social media for you. My experience with my computer is miserable, only makes my life worse all the time. Yeah, I blame Windows 11 on this one. There's a reason why Linux is a great alternative, but even with their issues, Windows is still way easier to deal with. Nowadays, consoles are actually powerful. They're the only ones to have the games be stable. Well, consoles are powerful. They can play games with little to no issues. That's why there's a market for them. The market is for you. PC gaming is an inferior experience in every way. Nope. This is a stupid thing to say about PC gaming. It is not inferior in every way. It is only inferior to you because you only play console games. I play PC games. My gaming library is on PC. I work on PC. I sell the 7Cs on PC. So I cannot reasonably justify a PS5 purchase when most of my stuff is on PC. Console gamers always have the wrong mindset when entering PC gaming. A lot of PC gamers will oversimplify and exaggerate the PC experience. Bro, the PC experience right now couldn't have been simpler compared to 10 years ago. There's no exaggeration, but there is, however, a warning, and that is, AI is destroying the market right now. Lots of people got burned with those $300 to $700 console killer builds that were dog poo and aged terribly. This right here completely exposed a terribly wrong mindset that console gamers have. You do not go to PC gaming to kill consoles. You go to PC gaming to play PC games. If you go to PC gaming expecting a console, you're not being burnt by PC gaming, you are burning yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
PC also does require more maintenance and know-how. Consoles are way simpler. I haven't cleaned out my desktop files since forever. I can't even remember the last time I uninstalled programs I don't need. PC doesn't need maintenance as much as you think it needs. Granted, Windows 11 requires plenty of tweaks before you can even run it well, but after that, you're okay. That is until Microsoft ruins it in some way or another again, because Microsoft is being Microsoft. Here's a bizarre sentiment being shared around console peasants. PC gamers don't buy games. Apparently, most PC gamers don't even buy games. They don't pay for multiplayer though. That makes no sense whatsoever. If PC gamers do not buy games, then game companies would not want to sell on this platform. Unfortunately, this platform and many others will be in a crisis thanks to the AI bubble, but that's another problem entirely. One that I've discussed in length and will continue to do so in the future. And yes, they do not pay for multiplayer. That's one of the benefits of PC gaming. One that you console gamers should keep in mind when you're paying another monthly or yearly subscription. Alright then, I guess we won't be gaming now. Let's just go back to work. Speaking of work, I'm not quite sure where this sentiment comes from. Hot take, having a MacBook can increase your productivity by 95%. Okay, this is a joke tweet, but it isn't necessarily wrong in certain circumstances. If you're using an old Intel MacBook that can barely run macOS, you can buy a newer one with the Apple M chips that will run better. And because you buy a new MacBook that runs better, your productivity increases. The thing about productivity is that it's not controlled by your MacBook. It's controlled by what apps you're running on it. You can still play a couple of select games on your MacBook, and they are fun to play for sure, but most people think of MacBooks for work. Windows-based PCs and laptops can also be used for work. The laptops that I have are barely used for gaming. They're used for video editing. And the game that I played the most on these two laptops is Buckshot Roulette, which doesn't require a lot of hardware. But everyone else is going to need hardware thanks to the AI hardware market crisis. Did I mention that already? Productivity increases slightly when you can't play no games. Don't worry, MacBook users. There are some games that you can still play. Emulators are a thing. I don't know how good they are with MacBook M chips, but I'm quite sure they're there. If MacBooks increase productivity, then Linux increases GOONING? I've contributed plenty on encouraging people to switch to Linux thanks to Microsoft screwing up Windows 11. Lots of people think the same way, but I did not expect it to go in this direction. Pornhub, still the #1 free 18 plus content website, statistically speaking at least, posted this graph that showed the platform viewing statistics. Not only that the Android platform has increased, look at the Linux platform increase. That's right, 22% increase for Linux. Why is there an increase in Linux users? Steam Decks? Do people get so angry on Windows so much that they switch to Linux? Who knows, but either way, I am so glad that I can be a part of the Linux switch encouragement to not only my viewers, but also to the porn addicts as well. Moving on from gooning, working, and gaming, let's talk about working to develop games. I love that this interaction bait is just encouraging people to post game composers. Video games do not have a Hans Zimmer. Despite the countless masterpieces composed for games, Hans is consistently on a level no gaming composer has yet reached. Yeah, I don't know why you would ever say this. Jeremy Soule composed The Elder Scrolls, and it is undeniably iconic. The same goes for Akira Yamaoka for Silent Hill, Mick Gordon for Doom, Shoji Meguro for Persona or SMT. These are all iconic names in the gaming music landscape. I guess because they're not on the same level as Hans Zimmer for movies, but here's a fun fact. As pointed by the community notes, Hans Zimmer has composed music for games before. The most notable one is the main theme for Crysis 2, which is, in my opinion, an incredibly underrated first-person shooter. One of the greatest first-person shooters of all time that is coupled with a brilliantly composed theme that screams epic. I highly recommend that game, even if you haven't played Crysis 1. Hans Zimmer also composed the main theme for the original Modern Warfare 2 and Dragon Age Veilguard. Wasted, if you ask me. One thing that is definitely not wasted is the return of classic Lara Croft. I am glad that Lara Croft goes back to the old roots and returns to her classic form. Some people are not so glad about it. I just see it as a regression. No, it's not. The real regression is seeing 3 gritty and realistic Survivor-era Lara Croft games not developing any character whatsoever. The biggest problem with Survivor Lara is that she is never wrong. She is always in the right. She kept bringing the people close to her through all sorts of tragedies that are entirely preventable if she weren't being self-righteous about it, and then blames herself for it repeatedly. I know because I played through the Survivor trilogy, and Lara's character, or lack thereof, is a major problem. She still looks hot though. She's hot enough for loads of 18 plus content, and that's what I call a net positive. I got into the franchise because of Survivor trilogy, where she was strong, capable, and a fully rounded character. No, she is none of those things in any of the Survivor trilogy. It's blatantly obvious that you have not played it and merely looked at it on the surface. It was a breath of fresh air to see a woman occupy the space of Nathan Drake and Indiana Jones and pivoting from the blatant sexualization of the 90s. Wow, you are an empty, vacuous husk of a human being to just look at women on their surface level. Do you seriously would trade lack of sexualization with lack of charm and personality? I'm not exactly a progressive, but even I can tell that female characters with bad writing and terrible characterization, with her only redeeming value being she looks gorgeous, is not progressive at all. Survivor Lara has way more personality in her 18 plus content than she does in the actual game. That is not a joke. I'm dead serious on that one. Here's my favorite. Why give us a progressive Lara if you're just gonna take it away? Because we tried progressive Lara. She sucks. She's a boring, miserable wreck and is devoid of any charm. She's supposed to develop into the anti-hero action movie Lara, not some emo girl that feels guilt for every dumb decision she made, in which she receives little to no consequences for. Classic Lara all the way. But Survivor Lara still looks hot, especially for 18 plus content, so I don't mind that much. The new Tomb Raider is getting plenty of attention. Is it woke to say I find 2015 Lara Croft more attractive because she looks like a real human instead of a supermodel? No, there's nothing woke about that at all. Survivor Trilogy Lara still looks gorgeous and stunning, regardless of her bad writing. That said, new classic Lara isn't that bad looking either, but that's just me. If I'm being honest, I don't really care. I haven't played a single Tomb Raider game. "2015 Lara Croft won't ever be topped." Oof, that's a horny post. Also, that's the screenshot of a mod, not the real Rise of the Tomb Raider Lara Croft. But I do not blame you for using a mod to make her sexier. That is one thing that will never change about her. People will still be horny of Lara Croft, regardless of the version. Alright, let's move on from being horny to Lara Croft to being mad to JRPGs. Oof, this JRPG Tourist is mad. Imagine thinking this fills the gap that Final Fantasy left behind. It's insulting to even suggest such a thing. Wow, I love how you just casually insulted Bravely Default 2. Title is nonsensical, granted, but so is their other game, Octopath Traveler. Get it? Because there are 8 characters, that's why it's called Octopath. I'm kidding. Octopath is great, and so is Bravely Default. How dare you disrespect this? E33 elevated the genre, but instead of celebrating it, the worst side of the JRPG community tried to tear it down. Bro, chill out. It won Game of the Year already. Congratulations! Some JRPG fans don't like it because it's really nothing special. And it isn't. I played plenty of JRPGs, and while Expedition 33 isn't a revolution compared to many other JRPGs, I still love it. It's a fantastic game regardless, so calm down. The internet is clowning your ass for a reason. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.